Hey there, and welcome. So let's just jump right in because we need to talk about something kind of weird that's happening with the stuff we buy. It feels like the things we pay for aren't really ours anymore. We're going to dig into this whole trend, this big shift from actually buying a product to just renting a feature. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with a luxury car company doing something that made everyone's head spin. Yep, you heard that right. You buy this expensive, beautiful car, the hardware for the heated seats, the actual coils, the wires, the button on the dash, it's all physically in the car you supposedly own. But if you want to actually get warm, well, that'll be a monthly fee, please. It's the perfect, almost absurd example of what we're talking about. You're not paying for a new part. You're paying for permission to use a part you already have. And right there, that's the real kicker. It's not some one-time upgrade fee you pay when you buy the car. Oh no, it is a recurring payment, $18 every single month, potentially forever, for a feature that's been a simple one-and-done purchase for decades. We really have to unpack this model because I guarantee you it's not just about cars anymore. So yeah, that whole BMW story, it wasn't just some bizarre one-off thing. It was actually a sign of a much, much bigger trend that some people are calling the subscription creep. And this isn't an accident. It is a very deliberate economic strategy, and it's quietly changing, well, everything. Its roots are actually in the world of software, with a model you're probably very familiar with. Right, software as a service, or SaaS. You know this one. Think Adobe Photoshop or Microsoft Office 365. Remember how we used to go to a store and buy a box with a CD-ROM in it? You'd install it, and you owned it forever. Now you pay a monthly or yearly fee just for access. And for software, okay, you can argue the pros and cons. But the truly wild part is seeing this exact same logic get slapped onto physical, tangible goods. And this is where it really hits home, because it has spread way beyond cars. We're seeing it with printers that literally block you from using cheaper third-party ink. We're seeing it with John Deere tractors, where farmers have to get a subscription just to get the software to repair their own machines. And yeah, even our smart home gadgets are now starting to lock their best features behind a monthly paywall. It is creeping into every single corner of our lives. Unsurprisingly, this whole trend has gotten some pretty strong reactions. Critics have even coined a term for what they see as the inevitable result: enshittification. Now, the argument goes like this. As a company pivots from making a great product you buy once to figuring out how to get endless recurring revenue, the actual quality of the product just goes downhill. The focus shifts away from you, the customer, and zeroes in on that monthly payment. And that brings us to the most important point of all. This isn't just about us paying more money. This represents a massive, fundamental change in how we relate to the things we buy. It's really a showdown between two totally different ideas: good old-fashioned ownership versus this new world of permission. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just stark. I mean, traditional ownership is simple, right? You pay for it once, it's yours, period. You have total control. You can tweak it, you can fix it yourself, you can sell it to somebody else when you're done with it. But with this permission model, you're playing a completely different game. You're locked into recurring fees, you're bound by terms of service that can change whenever the company wants, and because you don't really own it, it has zero resale value. And that's the bottom line. That is the key takeaway from all of this. In this new economy, for so many products, you're not an owner anymore. You're a subscriber. You're a licensee. All you're really doing is paying for temporary access, not permanent possession. And that leads to a much bigger and maybe even more worrying question about where all this is headed. I mean, if this trend just keeps going, what does the future actually look like? When your car, your phone, your tractor, and maybe even your coffee maker all need a subscription to work the way they're supposed to, what does that world feel like? It kind of brings to mind a very famous and very controversial phrase that you hear a lot when people talk about these ideas. This quote, you've probably seen it. It's often linked to forecasts about the near future. And man, has it become a lightning rod in these debates. On one hand, some people frame this as a future of convenience, a hassle-free world. But on the other hand, a lot of people see it as the scary endpoint of this whole shift away from ownership, a future where we're all just perpetual renters from a handful of giant corporations. So we'll leave you with this to chew on. As more and more of the world we use gets locked behind a monthly paywall, what does it really mean to own anything anymore? Is all the convenience we get from a subscription worth giving up that control, that autonomy? That's the big question we're all going to have to answer as we try to navigate this new subscription trap. Thanks for digging into this with us.